Buenos dias, good morning, It's Café con Tarot, and my name is Yubi. I'm your astro-friendly Latina therapist. So I hope you have your cafecito ready. I got mine here, and I got my little waffle here. I was craving panecito, and I'm not much for pan dulce. I'm selective with my pan dulce. Yeah. I'm selective with my pan dulce, but I was craving, I'm a breakfast person, and a steak person. And the reason why I like breakfast is there's so many different ways that you can have breakfast, so many different cultural ways to do breakfast. I mean, you can do that with any meal, right? But breakfast for me is one, I don't usually have breakfast in the morning. I usually eat, my first meal usually of the day is between 10, 11, 12 maybe. On occasion, I will have an early breakfast if I know I'm working back to back to back to back, where I know my energy is going to deplete faster. But usually I'm an afternoon eater. But breakfast, you can have it any time of the day. You can change it to where you can have every day. And I'm talking traditional, American type of breakfast, right? I love eggs. Steak and eggs, right? You can have steak and chorizo. There's just so many ways. And steak. You could incorporate steak in breakfast in so many ways. It just... Oh, now I'm all fancy about breakfast. I'm a breakfast person. I can have waffles at night. Not good for me, but I can indulge if I choose to. Waffles and steak and egg, bacon. I think it's because I don't eat it often. For me, having a steak, a really yummy steak is a treat. Bacon is a treat. But anyways, so I've been craving bread, and so I bought this vegan type of because I'm being mindful of my digestion needs, my dietary needs, and so this is a waffle I made myself. So anyways, so I have that going on. I did want to invite you all that next Sunday, I've decided to do it next Sunday, Friendsgiving, Café con Tarot live on Skool, on my Skool platform. So it's absolutely free to sign up and log in. And depending, it's a meet and greet, even if it's one person, even if it's by myself, I'm good with that. But if you wanted to join, you totally can. Just to meet you, this, I'm testing out the Skool platform, online stuff. It seems pretty neat. So we'll be able to see each other, talk to each other, and then I'll do a general reading for everybody who shows up. I'll record it, and then I'll post it on YouTube for those who snoozed. A los que se les pegaron las cobijas, right? So they'll just miss out on the interactive piece of it. But yeah, so I wanted to share that with you. If you're interested in joining, the link to the Skool account is in the description box below. It's under my You Becoming Healed account. So yeah, today's message. So I've been thinking a lot about the All Signs Tarot message that I posted for you yesterday. And just that whole week with the elemental readings, and I've just been thinking about the cycles that are repeating for people. So I decided to go back to my Denise Lynn Sacred Travelers deck Oracle card, and I went back to the Light Seers because these I kind of go to for starting a new path, jumping in, but also if you're repeating a cycle, you're still jumping into a new cycle, right? And so I wanted to go back to these favorite ones to see if there's advice as to how to like navigate that. And so I'm going to do that for today's message, Café con Tarot, because that seems to be the pattern in terms of where people are either repeating something new or jumping into a new chapter in their lives. And you know, we're coming to the end of one retrograde. I mean, there's a lot going on, astrologically speaking. But there's a lot, like even the conversations I've been having with folks, there's a definite reflection of what to do next, and like an ending and a beginning starting all at once. And that can be really like an uncomfortable place to be, right? Where you're ending and starting something at the same time. And so it just felt like this would be appropriate. I'm also considering, because the mid-month and the monthly readings seem to be attracting like more attention, like there's a need for it, is how I'm interpreting it. And so I'm going to do my best to do morning messages, and or it's just going to be weekly messages instead of like a morning, like a timeless, like, you know, for whoever. It's going to be individual signs for the week. I'm going to try that for a little bit and see, because it just seems like that's where the need is right now. And I've really been thinking about it this whole week, if that's something I should do for folks, because it just seems like people are just attracted to their personal sign versus just a general reading. So I want to honor that for folks. Okay, so let's jump right in. Let me take another sip of my coffee. I'll tell you, I'll leave my chattering to the end. I have an interesting conversation about caffeine. Totally impacted me this week. I did not know that my body could do that, but I'll leave that till the end. I hope I don't forget. So we'll do past, present, future. With the Denise Lynn, and then I will pull out one more at the end for advice. Yeah. Just. Let's see. Past, present, future, please. Para los que les conviene. Oh, there we go. Grounding. Explore your roots. Go deep. Explore your roots. And then you have answer the call for the first two. The time is now. Grounding, answering the call. Let me put these up here. One more, please, for the future. Yeah, see this? That's so appropriate. You know, when we are being pulled to stay or to go, it's an incredibly uncomfortable position to be in, especially if you haven't yet made your decision. Great adventure ahead. That's the future. I love it. Yeah, like what's already standing out, it's what I've been saying. Like when you are in two places at once, being pulled into different directions, it can be incredibly uncomfortable. I've been there, and it's like a tug of war, right? Like and you're being like, should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Right? And so grounding centers you. Alone time centers you, right? And it's like removing yourself from like what's happening around you, what's pulling at you, so that you can come back to yourself, your deep roots, and decide. Like it's even like root chakra stuff. Like root chakra, when there's a lot going on around us, it can unearth us, right? Like our roots, and so our sense of safety, if you think about root chakra, sense of safety, sense of security gets rattled up, and it makes it more uncomfortable because we're trying to figure out, where do we belong, right? And so exploring your roots is an ask to ground yourself and figure out, like, ¿dónde están like las, you know, ¿cómo se dice? The roots. My Spanglish folks, jump right in. The roots, right? Like, where do they need to be planted, for nourishment, right? Where do they need to be? Because sometimes when you look at a plant, the plant image, it's coming up, the image I just saw it. Una plantita, right? You buy a little plantita a la tiendita, whatever, right? That little pot is going to be perfect for it until it's not. Then you have to like take it out, right, of the soil, being careful like how you wiggle it out to not mess up the roots. But then you have to plant it in a bigger pot, and now it's gonna right, it's like it's all scrunched up, like sometimes when you open it up and it's like all like covered up, the roots, right, and then you put it in new soil and new nourishment, and it's like this liberating, like I can breathe again feeling, and I can grow again feeling, right? That's what's coming. So it's kind of like exploring, how are your roots? Are you feeling like this? Like, are you outgrowing where you are? Are you repeating the same cycle and you're like, dude, I've done this already, like how many times am I gonna do this? And how are you wrapping yourself up, and do you need some type of release, right? And then it's like, wakey, answering the call, like the universe is calling for you to step into this new, right? Look, she's like moving out of where she was into somewhere else, right? Stepping into, and the time is now, like now, right? The moment is what we have access to. The moment can change and transform your life. This moment, right, is constantly, and then there's something great and wonderful coming, an adventure that you're being prepared for. So very, very appropriate for the intention that I have for folks for this reading, for people, right, is how do you navigate the in-between? How do you navigate being pulled in different directions? How do you navigate the ending and the beginning of a cycle that you find yourself in? Órale pues, vamos. I'm so excited for these weekly readings that I'm going to start up for folks. I'm hoping it's helpful. I'm hoping it's helpful for people. Like, that's my intention, that it's just, like, it provides you with a sense of relief. You know what I mean? Like, at least that's how this experience with tarot for me started, was it provided me with a sense of relief as to what I was experiencing that I couldn't really share with other people because they didn't understand. And so I was solita, kind of until I found more people, and I was like, oh, you believe in this too? Shit. Why don't you say anything, right? Why is no one talking about this taboo shit? That was 5 years ago. I mean, clearly now it's different. But okay. Grounding. 3 for grounding, please. Oh. All right, 10. Okay. This is a theme. Yesterday's message, I think it was a general, it was either for Libra or the general reading, started off with the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. So family, right? Legacy, finances, and then the star energy right underneath it. But it's feeling like this is like the dream. This is the dream, because I have it set up like this. And so it's like the circle, the highlight, right? So for me, it's definitely feeling like this is the dream. This is the goal. This is the I want to, bring that vision down to earth. And star is healing. So clearly there's already an awareness of like healing needing to be done. Or this experience is, look, another circle. Yeah, it starts with the first step. It starts with the first idea. It starts with learning something new. Look at the contrasting thing. She's looking up, and then the other girl is looking down. So it's kind of like, here's my goal, here's my vision, here's my dream, and now I have to ground it. That's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful goal, right? It's a beautiful goal to have like partnership, legacy, birthing something new, whether it's children or ideas or like creating something, right? This is also creation energy, pentacle energy, circle energy, circles. There's circles, and that's wholeness, that's completion, that's source, that's soul, that's you. That's you. 3, 4. Answering the call, babe. Look this. waiting for that wave to come in. Waiting? Are you gonna jump in? Are you gonna jump in? Or are you just gonna keep waiting, babe? 2 more, please, for answer the call. 2 more for answer the call. And the thing is, 2 more for, if you repeat a cycle, there's still something for you to learn. So it's not a bad thing. This idea that, and that I'm telling myself that too, to remind myself to have more grace and compassion for other people, because I can change like this. I'm an air, like I'm this, my MO is about change, transformation. And I have to remember that just as there's a version of me that can go so quickly, there's also the version of me that takes their precious time, that needs more time to break things apart, to understand the complexities of what's, you know, happening, all the puzzle pieces, right? Like, I can see the patterns like this, but there's also the opposite version of me who struggles a little bit more with that, you know? So it's definitely a reminder for me. You're never in the wrong place. Even if you're repeating a cycle for the 10th time, you're needing 10 times to figure your shit out. There's nothing, you know, like, that's just how long it took you, right? That's just how long it took you. And that's okay. Okay. Yeah, Hermit energy. Virgo, right smack in the middle. And it's right next to the star. Like, these 2 cards are healing energy, Virgo energy, like star, like, it's just wisdom. Wisdom comes from this process, right? Wisdom comes from how you're answering the call. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. Wisdom comes from answering the call. Each cycle, you're gonna, you know, Virgo is very like one step at a time, one step at a time. That next cycle is gonna get you to that next step, and then that next step, right? So star energy, healing energy, answering the call. You're being called to heal and then be a healer. To heal and then be a healer. If you didn't know that, I'm telling you. If you didn't know that, I'm telling you, you are being called to heal and then be a healer. 1 more, please, for answering the call. 1 more, please, for answering the call. Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, right? The time is now. The world is needing you. The world is needing what you have to give. But before you give, you have to give back to yourself. You're having to give back to yourself, right? And that means tapping in, grounding yourself into a new place, grounding yourself with, you know, your ideas, like what was lost, find it, right, within yourself. Did you forget about your passions? Did you forget about, you know, what you're wanting out of life? I feel like sometimes we get older, and I'm speaking to me, you know, 80s folks, people who were born in the 80s. We've been taught to believe that you only pick one thing and then like you're supposed to see it all the way through. No, like you could jump from thing to thing to thing until you know, things will work until they stop working, right? You will find fulfillment until you stop finding fulfillment. And all that means is that something needs to change. That's all, right? You shift a little bit, whether it's in your mindset, whether it's what you're feeling about something, whether it's, you know, the choices that you're making. Yeah, Empress energy, divine feminine energy, right here. Like birthing something new. Once you gain that awareness, once you learn something new. Like, look, even the Hermit, these 2 cards right here are over her. How can I hold this? These 2 cards, like, ¿cómo se llama? Así estaba. Shit. It's her and then her. So it's like, I'm learning something new so I can create something new. I'm taking time within so that I know what I want to give to the world. Yeah, I mean, that's what's being asked of you, right? It's not to go on this great adventure yet. It's just ground yourself if you're needing grounding, right? Explore the desires of your heart right? What is it that you're wanting to achieve? Is it this? Is it something else, right? I mean, everybody kind of wants this, right? But also not. Maybe it's something else, right? Maybe it's solitude that you're desiring right now. Maybe it's just to read a book. Maybe it's just higher education, right? This is just an example, like the visual representation is like your stereotypical desires, but really 10 of Pentacles is your heart's desires, like the things that keep you moving, the things that keep you going, the things that keep you waking up. So it doesn't necessarily have to be family. It doesn't have to necessarily be a legacy. It doesn't necessarily have to be finances. It could also be resources. Maybe you're wanting more time, right? Maybe you're wanting more health. Maybe you're wanting more community. Instead of a family, it's like a chosen family, community, right? It's how you define your 10 of Pentacles, right? Your dreams and wishes. But are you making the time to reflect on what it is that you need? Not what other people need. What are you needing, right? And then most likely you're going to have to learn something new, whether it's a new mindset, new knowledge, new awareness, new tangible, like how to do something, right? That's what's being asked of you to answer that call. 3 for great adventure, please. This is now future. So, you know, future can always change. So let's just see what the potential is right now, keeping in mind that you are always in control. Great adventure, take a risk, venture forward. Oh, yes, look at this. 3 of Cups, friendship. So I have my B and I've known my B since kindergarten. Her and I, we lived in the same city. We started off as weekend friends. She was a friend because my mom, like, we weren't friends during the school week. One, she wore dresses, I didn't. She wanted to just sit around. I wanted to run. I was more tomboyish, if I could use that word still. And so we had different friends, but we were weekend friends. I would sleep over her house. She would come over mine. And so our relationship slowly started like that. And then even though we were in the same class, we still had different friends. And it wasn't until she moved away that our relationship actually got stronger. In 4th grade, she moved. And she moved to Palm Springs, Desert Hot Springs. And so I would see her in the summer, right? So again, this element of being comfortable having a relationship, long distance relationships, like, but we maintained it. That was the difference. Like I don't know why that's coming up right now. We maintained that friendship, where we might have talked on the weekends. Back then we didn't have cell phones. We had the landlines, so we had to share. But every summer we would connect. Every summer, it was like we put it in the calendar. So she became one of those friends where I literally only talked to her a handful of times, like a handful, like in one hand a year now. But it's always like we just pick up where we left off. But this has been since kindergarten. So we've established our routine. We've established how we communicate, how we interact with each other. And since then, even as an adult, she's moved to other states. Like we've never really been in the same place at once. It's always been through the phone, through Zoom, through FaceTime. Like that's just how our relationship has been. She's been my longest standing friend. And I think a lot of it is because she's put in the effort, equal effort to the best of our ability, knowing that we were long distance. Her story, I don't know why her story, because that's like friendship. She's my, I tell her, you're my Ethel Mertz. I'm her Lucy, because I'm the wild one. So yeah, she's my Ethel. That's like they sing the song, friendship. 3 of Cups, babe. Friendship is going to be a part of this process. It has been. It's just finding that tribe, right? That is in alignment with what you're wanting to create, what you're wanting to, nurture for yourself. And possibly, just you. Just focus on you. But if your calling is for humanity, then, it's the you and them. It's this balancing act, right? Coming from a Libra. Libra rising. It's a balancing act. You have to take it in order for you to keep giving. You have to also give to yourself. Page of Wands. Yeah. Learning something new, right, with the Page of Pentacles, but now there's excitement. Look at the difference. There's excitement, there's passion, there's like throwing things up in the air, right? First it's like the grounded, creating something grounding, but now it's like, let's just run with it. There's a liberating feeling. There's a liberating feeling. It's like, look. Oh my God, look. Look. Oh, gotta show this to you. The circle is up here. She's trying to bring it down, right? Then the circle is right here, is starting to poof, right? Like it's starting to gleam up, like within them. And then it starts, that circle is like like she's in it. She's in it in a different way. Here it's like it's starting to be born within her, and now it's like coming outside of her. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's beautiful. I think that's gorgeous. One more for Great Adventure. Great Adventure. Great Adventure. Take a risk, venture forward. Look at that. Nothing but positivity. Nothing but positivity. When you align with your, oh snap. Okay. Look at this. I have to. Why is this showing up? 3 cards for the bottom. 3 of Swords, Queen of Swords, and then Queen of Wands. I'm almost feeling like this is the accumulation. This is reminding me of so I posted on Friday. On Friday I posted for whoever. I initially titled it the best slogan for healing. But really it was a relationship reading because of the way the cards came out. And it was something similar. Oh my God, it was something similar. It was the 3 of Swords that had come out. I think instead of the Queen of Swords, it was the King of Swords. So this is now feminine. And then the Queen of Wands, I think it was the King of Wands. I think it's the opposite. That's so wild. This is the slogan for healing. Have a heartbreak? No worries. Let's talk about owning your truth. Let's talk about, how you're managing your heart. And then you're going to find passion. like that. That's so funny. But look at the contrasting, even the images, right? It's like you become serious. There's a wisdom that comes, there's una presencia. Tienes una presencia cuando pasas por algo muy difícil. Y cuando pasas por algo muy difícil, después de todo lo serio, muchas personas piensan que el mago, el sage, el que conoce, es muy serio. Like, y a veces da un ambiente muy standoffish. So it's like when you go through your healing process, you embrace hermit wisdom sometimes. And this is where I had a friend when I first started this spiritual awakening bit. I'm calling it a bit. I didn't know what I was going through. And he was one that had friends who knew. And he was possibly the only one who was supporting me during that time. I don't know if he had other intentions, but he was the one that was supporting me. He was a friend. He was my confidant at the time. And I remember him telling me how the people who go through spiritual awakening sometimes have a chip on their shoulder. And I remember telling him, I'm like, well, I don't think I'm gonna have a chip on my shoulder. Like, I have no idea what I'm going through. Like, I have no idea what I'm going through. Like, I'm here to learn. I don't, and my self-esteem was like really like low. at that time in my life, 5 years ago. And so there was a part of me that felt like, how could I ever be wise when I'm always a student? I'm always a student. And then I realized, well, no, it's like I'm learning and then teaching what I know, and then I'm going to keep learning. So it's like this never ending cycle. Like you never stop learning, right? And I said this before in another reading. The moment you come across someone who thinks they know everything, that person has stopped learning. And so, you know, being mindful, right? And that's part of their journey is learning, right? To either be humble or to go through that heartbreak of like, oh shit, I thought I was the shit and now I'm not the shit. You know? So anyways, he said like sometimes people have a chip on their shoulder. Like, I know this, I know that. And I remember at some point in my journey realizing it. I'm like, it's because they're not done. They're not done what they're learning. And they've gotten to a part in their journey where something else is needing to happen for them. So his experience with people in this experience was at that mark. Like that was what he thought people reached. No, you go beyond that. At some point, you're supposed to go beyond that, right? Because happiness, right? So this feels like that. It feels like I'm so wise because I went through a heartache. But then it's like, dude, where's the joy? Make light of stuff. Like live a little, right? Like have fun, la la. Find your joy, find your passion, and live aligned with that, right? Like look at all the things that she's created at the bottom, right? And she's so in love with her life, right? And that's really the journey, is finding a way to get to a point where you are in love with your life, where you are bringing yourself back to life. For those of you that don't know, that's what I do. I help bring people back to life, which is the now, right? That's the now. This is life. This moment is your life. How are you feeling about it? How are you navigating it, right? If it doesn't feel good, when was the last time you felt good? What do you need to feel good? And sometimes it does start off with like, I wish I had this, right? And outside of you, that's because that's how we were conditioned. And so sometimes it starts off in that way, but it's going to last for so long until you have to find another way to fulfill that cup. And it's how you do it for yourself, right? It's how you fill your own cup versus waiting outside for someone else to do it for you. Look, she even has her little cup right here, all boxed up. And here, her heart is in her hand. Oh shit, I just had this conversation. I found out who helped me, who taught me about the heart and the hand experience. And I remember thinking that was so interesting and weird and funny at the same time. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I entertained it. And I remembered like thinking there's so many people who are energetically like permeating in a different way than me that it makes sense for me about them. But she has her heart in her hand. What does that mean? That means you're aligned with doing what fulfills your heart. She has her heart in her hand. I think I might title that. You have your heart in your hand. You have your heart in your hand. All right, let's do 3 cards of advice. Should I use this? I wasn't thinking about doing. If you are struggling, let's do this one. Let's do this one. If you are struggling figuring out what to do with your heart that's in your hand, or you are struggling, finding your roots, or if you're struggling, like, let's get 3 cards of advice for my folks that are struggling to find their heart in their hands. Like, what would they need to know? And then I'll pull out an oracle card and I'll read that to you. All right, 3 cards of advice. 3 cards of advice. 3 cards of advice. Para los que les conviene. This was a nice reading. I like this one. I was telling someone yesterday, they were feeling stuck And I remember letting them know, I was like, you know, the great thing about feeling stuck is that it prompts you to think about, well, what is it that you do want? Like, if you could, there were no limits to what you wanted to be or to create. Like, how would you define, how would you paint the picture of what you want, right? Aligning with your truth. Like, if there were no limits to your truth, if there were no limits to what you can do, like, for the moment, what would you want to do? No, taking the information from the heaviness that you're experiencing right now. And then I apologize, because sometimes I tend to transform things quickly, and I'm like, I'm sorry if I wasn't present with you while you were feeling the heaviness of what you're going through. I'm here, I'm listening, but I have a tendency to quickly see the other side. And she loved it. She was like, no, this is beautiful. This is like what she needed to hear, because she can get caught up in this negativity, and she was trying not to, but that's what she was feeling, and I was craving space for it. And I'm like, but let's move on beyond it. Like, let's not sit here and like swim in that. I mean, swim in it until you need to, and you might have to revisit it later on, but for the moment, let's use this information, because it's all it is, information, to create what it is that you want to create. And so, yeah, truth, Ace of Swords. What's coming out of my mouth is truth, but it's also, you have your heart in your hand. So what is your truth, right? What truth do you need to own? Because in order for your heart to be in your hand, you also have to align with your truth, right? What is that? What is that for you? 2 more, please. What is your truth? You have your heart in your hand. 2 more, please. 2 advice. The lovers. The lovers. Choices. It's about choices. I'm gonna cover it to this. This is about choices. I'll cover the bottom part. It's about choices. This is about love. This is about friendship. This is about alignment. This is about alignment. Whether it's with you, with other people. Like, I used to be a one of like, you don't need anybody, you could do it yourself. But some people, depending on what their birth chart says, like for them, their ultimate goal is alignment with somebody else. Like, that for them is the path that they're on, right? And then there are other people that needed to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet. Right here. Not to say that a partnership isn't in the cards for me. I needed to do this first before embracing in that chapter. And that's what I feel like I've achieved for myself. Like, I'm living my dream right now of being able to provide for myself, being able to do things that are fun for me, being able to establish passion projects. Like, I brought myself back to life. That was in the cards for me. But what's in the cards for you, right? Oh, yeah, balance. six of Pentacles. Finding your balance, right? Are you giving too much away? Are you giving too much to other people and not enough to you? It's doing that self-reflective piece, right? Your truth, making a choice. But like twos, look, twos. Like, this is about alignment. Yeah, it's just balance and alignment. Let's do an oracle card, and we'll call it a morning. We'll call it a morning for you. But yeah, stay tuned. I am planning on doing the weekly reading. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see. I'm just trying stuff, seeing what sticks, what doesn't stick. But you know, if y'all don't say anything as to what kind of signs or messages you like, I'm gonna just keep throwing shit at the wall because it's fun. I'm just gonna try stuff. But yeah, don't forget, join me next Sunday live at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I'll post that later on. So Cafe Compero will be on this page a little later than usual. I have it scheduled for 2 hours, but you know, it could be shorter, it could be longer. I mean, if you're there, you're there, and I'll be there with you. Okay. It'll be after my Italian test too, so that's why I decided that date. Because I'm sweating a little bit with my Italian right now. I'm sweating just a little smidge. As long as I pass with a C, universe, I'm good. An oracle card para los que les conviene. An oracle card for advice. An oracle card for advice. Oh, that slid almost on my audit. Oh man. Oh my honey, unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. Isn't that lovely? Oh my God, it looks scary, but it isn't. It's like a lovely unknown, like a winter wonderland unknown. Let's read that one. Unknown, you're exactly where you need to be. Even if it feels like you're not, you are. You always are exactly where you need to be. This thing soon is in alphabetical order too, I think. I'm gonna read both. You are exactly where you need to be, even if you are not consciously aware of it. Even if you don't have all the answers, keep going forward with your heart open. If you can't see clearly ahead and don't know where you're headed, keep moving forward. Do what feels right, even if your brain doesn't agree. Your heart always knows. Instead of dismay because you are in unknown territory, celebrate that you're expanding and growing by leaps and bounds. And then what the secret traveler wants you to know. Sometimes the traveler feels lost, a lack of confidence or sense of being in unknown territory. It can seem that others know more or are more qualified. However, it can be this very feeling of not knowing that allows one to step outside the bounds of convention and reach beyond the parameters of self that have been imposed by family, friends, society, and religion. Cherish those moments of not knowing. It's often during those times that the greatest revelations occur. Trust that all is well and you are where you should be. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. That's amazing. This is for you. Join me next Sunday live on Skool, my Skool platform. The link is below, and I'll see you next time.